Hey everyone, this is Jack and welcome to another video for the Galaxy Grudge project. Today I'm going to chat about a number of milestones we've hit since our last update. We've been pushing development in a number of areas and I'm really excited to share some of that with all of you. So let's jump in. First off, let's talk about the transition to dedicated server builds. We recently made the switch from listen server logic to dedicated server logic. Since Galaxy Grudge is an arena shooter with full multiplayer support, the stability of the netcode is one of the most critical aspects of the game. We were finding recently that some of the code pathways in the game were not functioning as the Unreal documentation described. We were getting some weird bugs and errors in multiplayer games when large numbers of people were connected. I actually reached out to an Epic engineer who advised me that the listen server code path was relatively untested compared to dedicated server logic. The default build of Unreal Engine that you get from the Epic launcher is a binary build, which doesn't contain the ability to cook dedicated servers by default. If you want dedicated, you have to download the source code of the engine and compile it from scratch with Visual Studio. In the end, we decided to bite the bullet and just upgrade from the binary engine to the source engine. We updated the game's netcode to function properly on dedicated servers, and all of the errors we had been seeing just magically disappeared. So to that very friendly engineer who gave me that advice, thanks a lot. The Galaxy Grudge universe owes you a debt of gratitude. Needless to say, the game is functioning better than ever, and netplay has been really stable ever since. Alrighty, so the next thing I want to talk about is teleporters. Another little addition to the game we've made recently is the teleporting actor. This is a pretty simple concept, most arena shooters have them. They transport you from one place in the map to another. I decided to use similar logic to Unreal Tournament with these teleporters in Galaxy Grudge. Just place two of them in a level, tag them with the same name, and they will connect to one another during gameplay. I sprinkled some special sauce into the actor to give it some fun sounds and visual effects. And I also coded some functionality into the game's projectile base class so that players can actually shoot through the teleporters too. This has definitely led to some really fun outcomes in game tests. As we say here at Galaxy Grudge, chaos is key. Another thing we've developed with a lot of community feedback and testing is the power-up system in our game. Introducing the Giga Token. This power-up spawns at regular intervals, but in random locations across the map. These locations are chosen from a custom visibility graph that we designed for advanced 3D pathfinding. Every class in the game has access to this graph through our custom UWorld subsystem that runs in every level. Our goal is to create dynamic moments where every encounter feels different. Players might find themselves in a fight when a token suddenly spawns, changing the situation in unpredictable ways. This is central to the identity of Galaxy Grudge. Every game should feel different, and we want players to be adapting in a shifting battlefield. If you're lucky enough to grab a token before anyone else does, you can use it to activate one of these 5 unique abilities. So let's have a talk about these. First up, Shield Mode. This is a defensive ability which reduces incoming damage by 50%. Projectile kickback is also neutralized. Combined with extra health and armor, this ability turns you into an indestructible tank. You can use it when you need extra protection from incoming fire, when survival is absolutely critical. Next up, Speed Mode. This increases your player's velocity, allowing you to navigate more quickly and outrun opponents. It also speeds up weapon swap time, giving the player the upper hand in combat situations. Furthermore, reloading weapons like the Hurricane or the Vindicator also happens more quickly, essentially increasing your rate of fire. The third ability is an arena shooter classic, Double Damage. All damage dealt by the player is doubled. As an added bonus, if you accidentally hit yourself with one of your own weapons, you only take normal damage. Other players can see when you have this ability activated. Your character will visibly glow. The next ability is one of my personal favorites, Infinite Ammo. This ability lets you fire any of your weapons without costing ammunition. You can run around with an endless flamethrower, or chase someone down with the hurricane, peppering them with an endless stream of plasma bullets. It's really satisfying. Fun fact, with the current weapon timings, you can fire 28 rockets in the time it takes for the ability to expire. Switch to a high-powered weapon, fire up the ability, and start spamming. The final ability is a tactical powerhouse, X-ray mode. This ability allows you to see all players in the map at regular intervals, like a sonar that can see through walls. You can also see the locations of both flags in a CTF game. This ability is insanely useful in a range of combat scenarios. Another thing we've been starting on is asset cosmetics. Obviously, this game is still in its development phase, but we can't be running around in a grey box level forever. Our facility deathmatch map needs to be fleshed out, so we've started the process of kicking off 3D artwork and texture painting. There's a lot to do, but here's a look at our first fully painted asset, a futuristic sci-fi crate. Very cool stuff, and there's a lot more coming very soon. If you're an asset builder and you'd like to join us to help fill up this off-world facility, feel free to get in touch and join our small but growing team. We've been spending some time recently getting into the weeds with our character movement code. Like most people who start games in Unreal, our original implementation with movement was done in blueprints. This doesn't scale very well with multiplayer systems. The proper way to do networked movement in Unreal is within the character class in C++. You can't bootstrap movement code over the top in Blueprint without hitches and network corrections, which ruin the gameplay experience for clients in a game like this. I recently invested a number of weeks converting the game's movement code into a custom character movement class. This includes various things like dodging, crouching, sliding, and our 0G skate mechanic. All of this stuff gets fed into the movement queue within the character movement class, and the default movement class gets overridden and re-referenced in the character class. It took a little bit of experimenting. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty complicated, but the results have been really amazing. Movement is now buttery smooth, even if you're playing with lag of several hundred milliseconds. No more rubber banding, no corrections, no snapping. It's really satisfying, and in a movement shooter, it's super important. And finally, here's something I've been working on recently. Just a sneak peek at some of the sounds we've been designing for the newest weapon in our game, the X3 Magnetron. So there we go. The GG universe continues on, and like always, if you want to join the team, feel free to get in touch. There's a link to our Discord server in the description below. If you'd like to be a part of the inner circle and help us test the game, that's also an option. We do regular playtests, and we're always looking for anyone who's interested to join in and have some fun. Our main goal with this project remains the same. We are creating a free arena shooter with a modern spin, and our intention is to make it some of the best fun you'll ever have with a game like this. The future of the Galaxy Grudge project is still burning very bright. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.